So I'm going to go through a few different informal assessments that I like to use in my class. These are all strategies I've used in the past and I've found to be pretty successful for a variety of reasons. So the first one is a website called Poll Everywhere. Poll Everywhere basically is a website where you create ahead of time a number of different polls or questions or different ways for students to share ideas, responses, thoughts, a number of different formats. You prepare those ahead of time and you then share them you activate them essentially on the website. The students follow a link, which you'll see on the next page, and they can then from there participate in your poll. A real nice aspect of this is you can see individual student responses in addition to the class-wide responses, but the students cannot. And so therefore they can kind of respond without the fear of being incorrect. It's easy to incorporate into a lesson, either planned or being used on the fly as an impromptu feature. You could have a poll that simply says, "Do you agree? Yes or no?" Or "Is this correct? Yes or no?" Students can respond. You in real time get the responses displayed on the board, but like I said, the students don't actually see their responses. It's compatible with speech to text and any other writing assistive feature that you would want to use, and it's pretty simple. And I don't need to use too many accommodations for this feature. Otherwise, here's an example. It's a simple question about the region of Asia that you think Buddhism spread to. That was from a lesson that I did. As you can see, region 2 was the right response. 80% of my students got it right. This was great feedback. And then I could go through and see which of the 5% responded region 3, which of the 15 responded region 4 on a case by case basis. And you can note at the top the link in which you would go to see whatever poll I have active. And you can only have one active at a time, but it's a really good feature. Next is Kahoot. It's a game. It's basically a multiple choice game. It's pretty stress free, and the competitive aspect improves engagement. You cannot see all specific student responses, which is kind of a downfall, but you can get an overall gist of the responses. Assistive technology would be difficult to incorporate. It has some strengths and weaknesses here. For instance, the answers are color coded in addition to being written, in addition to having a shape. So whether you have a disability with being able to see color, you have those shapes as a backup. So it does some things to help you here. But at the same time, it is timed. As you can see, the countdown in purple on the left says 12 seconds. That might make it hard for some students with different needs to kind of keep up with the pace of this. And therefore, you'd have to adjust that time if you knew that was an issue. Ticket out the door, a widely used strategy just for a quick response for student progress on how they're doing with maybe an essential question in your lesson. It's really versatile with assistive technology. You could do these responses on hard paper, Google Docs, just verbally, audio files, using any of the assistive technologies that for written situations that you need. Students do sometimes rush to make these responses a little less accurate because they're trying to get to the next class or trying to get home, whatever it might be. So that's kind of a downside, but you do get some good feedback for the overall lesson, and students can write their response down as well. Dry erase boards. This is another quick nonverbal way for students to respond in class. Once again, they don't have to call out in front of everybody. Students can write out answers or simply use multiple choice format, A, B, C, or D. Assistive technology and accommodations could be speech to text that you might display on an iPad in place of a whiteboard. You could also have a scribe write an answer for you. It would be pretty simple to accommodate for. So those are my thoughts. Those are my strategies. They can be applied in multiple settings and multiple content areas. The accommodations can be used to enhance the informal assessment um, based on student needs. Some directly use technology, others do not. And all of these methods give me direct feedback on how students are understanding, either as a whole class or in an individual sense. That's everything. Thanks.